right, today I would like to talk about the energetics of understanding the difference between debate versus abuse. Now, debate is so important, especially to something called dialectic. We as humans will never grow our consciousness unless we share ideas. And a lot of those ideas are going to come through the dialectic. And the way it will be is that this person here, we'll call them person A. And there, let's say you a person B, okay? So person A has this projected idea of reality. Okay? And person B has a projected idea of what reality is as well. So reality A, reality B. Now, there may actually be some overlap, and that overlap may be a way in which two people can actually bond and feel a sense of closeness. But then, through getting to know each other, person A discovers things about person B that is beyond their scope of reality. And vice versa, person B discovers things about person A beyond their scope of reality. And so this is where we get the opportunity for something called the dialectic. And it can either be Platonic or Hegelian. And if you want to look at my previous videos, I talked about why the Hegelian dialectic is for the New Age, because it doesn't require anyone to get rid of any of their reality. So, how do you know the difference between debate and abuse? Because they often present themselves the same. So, what you want to do is you want to look at the way people are talking. So, is person A saying, hey, I see reality this way. Hey, I see it this way. Are they using I statements? Okay. Is person B doing the same? Are they using I statements? I see it this way. I didn't realize it could be that way. Now, sometimes when you get two people discovering reality that isn't theirs, it can cause something called egoic collapse. And this is because a lot of people sometimes base reality on their own sense of identity. They see themselves as a part of the world, of the picture. And so when they realize the world is different than they thought, they have a collapse. And it's really not a collapse, it's an opening, and it causes an expansion. But where abuse comes in, instead of person A saying, hey, I believe this, and they're sharing their reality, and person B saying, I believe this, they're using you. You are wrong. You are evil. You are untrustworthy. And the person B is also saying that too. They're using words like you. Use. They're using you. And the reason why is because in order to bully somebody into your reality, if you can be a louder you, if you can yell enough, if you can be angry enough and say, you are this way, you might actually bully and belligerently force the other person to acquiesce to your reality. And then all of a sudden, they're like, you're right, I am evil. You're right, I am a liar. And then all of this reality that they used to believe about themselves, they throw it out. And this is where abuse is. This is abuse. This is where we are actually deconstructing other people's reality, and we are forcing other people to accept something that is not true for them. And the more people refuse and reject parts of themselves, the more their brain shuts down. It's actually really bad for the body. If you think about the energy body is this beautiful kind of like fountain, flows up the body over the head, down to the feet, and it also comes out at the heart and it flows around. When you refuse to accept somebody else's reality, you cut off that flow and you stifle the energy not only of their mind but of their body. So, what do you do when you meet somebody who's maybe a little broken and they don't know how to share who they are? They're not using I, they're using you. And we see this, and I'll give an example. We see this with religion. And unfortunately, this is the damage that religion can do. It can not only destroy your consciousness, it can destroy your whole mental framework and your physical body. So, let's say person A is a Christian and person B is not. It can be anything else. It could be pagan, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, whatever, but they're just not Christian. Immediately, a Christian person is going to say, they're going to have a belief, you are evil, because this person is of the devil. The moment this person says you are evil, you are of the devil, you are a liar, that is the moment you need to sever and walk away. You do not ever debate with anyone who gives you what's called an ad hominem attack. The moment somebody is declaring who you are and what your identity is the moment they're no longer debating you. That's abuse. And if you stay and you argue with them, say, no, I'm not the devil, it doesn't matter, because the moment they assign a meaning to you, they create a little figment of their reality field. And this is you as devil. And it doesn't even matter if you become a Christian. They will always see you as a devil. They will always see you as a liar. You could be kind to them, you could nurture them, you could help them. They will always see you as a liar because it is part of their framework. The only way that they will stop seeing you as the devil is if their reality field cracks. And in order to crack into a person's reality field, they have to come to the conclusion that all of this reality that they gave up in the past, all of this fractured parts of them that they shoved into the shadow because somebody came along before and stunted their emotional, mental, and psychological growth, until they acknowledge this, they will always see you as the devil. This is why it doesn't matter when they say when people have narcissistic tendencies or people have been brainwashed by a cult to believe that you are inherently evil because you are not a part of the organization. This is why there is nothing you can say to them. The best thing you can do is sever connection. Do not communicate. You do not communicate with these people. Ixnay on the communique, okay? Because if you communicate with them, you are actually feeding their delusion of you. Because then you could say something and it could be misconstrued that you're evil. And they're like, I knew it. You were always a liar. And there's nothing you can do. They have it in their mind as to who you are and who your character is. They've already given an ad hominem attack. And they will continue until they acknowledge all of their shadow that they gave up for somebody who belligerently broke their mind earlier. So, best thing you could do, walk on, leave, never engage with them again. Because if you continue to engage, there will always be abuse. I hope this explains. So, I also highly recommend, if you can find a local debate club, debate there's a lot of Stoic societies. Stoicism is awesome for, oh, I misspelled that, sorry. But there's a lot of Stoic societies in every major city. And a lot of debate clubs. You can go on places like Meetup or Facebook to try to find people, or you can organize it. And once you learn how to debate and create dialogues about dialectics, it's going to help you understand the difference between a healthy debate, which is sharing dialectics so that each people can grow their consciousness and expand their awareness. And you're going to know the difference between debate and abuse, which is an ad hominem attack, which destroys somebody's character. It makes an assumption of that somebody is something that they are not, and then there's nothing they can do to change that. Like any action, any word that they would say would only fuel that identity in the other person. So this is why you do not debate with religious people. You just don't. Because if you were to debate with a Christian and you are not a Christian, then you are immediately considered of the devil. You're considered evil. And in their mind, they think that everything you say is a lie, and they believe that your intent is to destroy their soul. And that is why you do not debate with religious people at all. I hope that helps. And trust me, it makes your life so much better when you know the difference between debate and abuse. And once you get into healthy debates with people, it opens up your world like nothing else. And you will realize there are people out there that want to share their reality with you, and you can learn and grow together. Whereas most of these people who are involved in religious like cults, they are going to isolate themselves further and further and further. And the thing is, it's not just Christianity. There are cults, there are pagan cults, there are New Age cults, there are cults of personality, there are cult-like organizations out there. Like, really, you want to look for other people projecting onto you and saying, you are this. If somebody says that to you, walk away. The only debate is, I see this. I see this. And then we start talking about the differences of reality that we see. All right. Good luck out there. There is a lot of chatter and noise, but this will help you cull any unhealthy abuse dynamics that come your way.